Welcome to the Commissioner's Corner. It's that time of year again. I've started up the fire, so come on, settle in, and let's take a look at Week 1 scores. Now, we're still waiting for some plot lines to develop, so this one might be a little bit quicker than usual, but let's go ahead and get started. In the first matchup, not much to see here, especially on my side. Other than my first two picks, the rest of my team had very low scores. Gonna need to figure something out there. As for Crikey, they had a few players do all right. It really came down to their defense, though, as the difference between their defense and my defense was the difference in the total scores for the week. That's what got them the W. Next up, Dak was definitely back for at least a few plays, but somehow Chase still managed to get the victory, even with Dak scoring less than 5 points. Now, that was mostly because his three wide receivers combined for over 50, but it was also partially due to the fact that Tim made some interesting decisions at running back and wide receiver while having some big points on the bench that he could have put in instead. Third up, we have a rare regular season loss for Skip as Ryan came out of the gates extremely hot with the high score of the week and the stomp of the week in the same game. Multiple position players for Ryan popped off. I mean, he had a great week. Not much else to say. As for Skip, no one can knock his pretty spicy first overall pick of Justin Jefferson, as he was the highest scoring position player of week 1. Other than that, though, the team was a little bit lacking, and that's what got him the loss. In Lou's debut, a pretty solid showing, mostly on the back of Saquon and A.J. Brown, who combined for 50 points. As for Zach, he had an off week, and what he's really going to need to focus on is this flex position, as his third-round draft pick, Cam Akers, got 3 touches for 0 points. We'll see if he can figure something out there. Now, in the self-proclaimed grudge match by Paul, someone really needs to get over that Kamara debacle from a few years ago. We did have a pretty good matchup, though. It came down to Monday Night Football. Paul had a few players that did well, but Brittany made the bold decision of starting her 8th-round running back, Rashad Penny, over her 5th-round running back, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and that's what ended up costing her this matchup. Paul's going to need to figure out, like many other teams, what to do with his weaker position players and flex spots. Now, last and also least in this case, we had Brian squeaking out a victory over Jeff. Now, last season, a Jeff was defined as having the second highest score of the week and losing. And here we kind of have like a reverse Jeff, in which Brian had the second lowest score of the week, but ended up getting the W. Now, wouldn't you know, here Jeff is on the losing end of both of these scenarios. That's it for week 1. Like I said, we're still waiting for some plot lines to come out in the early portion of the season. But to see all the latest news, make sure you tune